my god.
Speaking of blue aliens, side note.
Are we going to talk about the Orville?
Rob Lowe on the Orville made my year, okay? It made my year.
That was amazing.
It was beautiful. It really
it really was.
It was, okay, it was.
Oh my god.
I have not watched last night's episode, so...
I haven't either.
I haven't either. No, I haven't seen it yet.
Good.
19 go make up.
Damn. She always gets me.
But yeah, and we got to see...
She didn't say no take-backs.
No take-backs. Oh, hold on, let me... That too, that's...
I've heard that part.
If you smell somebody
She's just
fart,
making
you
up
should put it
stuff
like
by
that.
now.
I have no idea
I
what
thought you
they're
just go,
talking about. None whatsoever. I'm so confused.
But I like that Seth MacFarlane fell in love with him in that episode. He's
Yes!
like, get your
And nobody
ass
thought
back
it was
here. I was like,
weird.
what?
That's what I really enjoyed about
Yeah,
it. Nobody
that
was
was
like,
cool.
"Oh, it's a guy." You know,
Yeah.
it didn't
But-
happen.
yeah.
It was beautiful.
That was very cool.
The part that I really liked was at the end when she asked him, when we were together last year, was it possible that you were in this whatever kind of thing that he goes into? Heat, yeah. And he goes, maybe. And so now that
makes her...
Now you get a sense that maybe she didn't do it because she didn't love
She was
him.
under the influence.
Right,
She was under the influence of the mating.
now,
Yeah.
Really Ponfar.
her ex-husband has also felt the effects of it, so now maybe he can have a little bit of empathy toward her in that situation.
Oh, maybe that would help them come together. That
I
would be
know,
so
and it'd be
cute.
just like
really
Ross and
would.
Rachel.
Oh,
They
God.
need to get together.
I hope that the nurse and slime stay together though, because that was a
That
it
was
really was beautiful.
I mean, it
He
gave
got
me
up all of them
such-
crevices.
I mean,
did.
she probably just had the best experience of her life.
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean, there is no person in the universe right now that has done as good as he did probably right now. I think.
I mean, all over at one time.
Yeah.
All of
and
them spots.
before
And he's pretty dexterous, we've seen.
I mean, he
Yeah.
can move. He
With
can
his bed, he was
fight.
like,
You can go all kind of places. You watch
He
that,
like-
ladies.
when the
Dive
lips
in,
came
baby.
up, I was laughing so hard when the lips just
I know,
came
that was
up. They were
kinda
like,
weird.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
set him like that.
Okay. Did he fall over?
Yeah, he doesn't step very well.
Oh.
Man down.
Oh.
I got a defective one.
Y'all see that the doctor, I think I texted it to you earlier, the doctor from Voyager, Robert Picardo,
Mm-hmm.
he is going to be on the Orville soon.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
yeah.
I have on Facebook. I did see somebody say something about that, and I'm like,
Yep.
oh, fuck.
That's really...
Fark. Fart.
Lord Farquaad!
Oh, God.
Oh,
Square face.
Well, because he's a big Star Trek fan, so he's probably trying to get as many, actors
Yeah.
as he can. I think that's really neat.
Yeah, and the doctor, she was from Deep Space Nine.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, he is a big Star Trek fan.
His name is Serious Babe.
He was on an episode of The Enterprise.
Who?
Seth MacFarlane was.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
he
he
was
was.
technician something 12 or something like that. Really.
Yep.
Technician 12.
We're gonna go with that.
I don't know.
It stands.
They
Good
did
for
do a
him.
good job with the uniforms, making
They did.
some butt action here.
They really
so
did.
I'm not gonna lie.
They are good
Work 'em
uniforms, and they're not super tight like 7 of 9.
Oh yeah, that ridiculous spandex.
Yeah.
Or like what they always had Deanna Troy in.
Oh my god.
That's where it's just
She
so
kills me
bad.
when she'd walk onto the bridge and like bounce her hair.
I'm so glad when it got near the end of the series and the movies where she actually just wore a uniform.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
It was just like, I mean, they gave her little blue. It's great.
They still kind of did funky stuff with their hair sometimes, but they did tone her down a lot.
They did.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And to me, she became a legitimate character at that point. You know, because
Yeah.
up to then it's just kind of like, all right, she's Deanna. She's got all these feelings. It's great. But she was never like they said she was the counselor, but I just thought maybe she was like, how is she on the bridge? She's not wearing a uniform, so she must not be technically Starfleet or a rank or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I never understood why she was on the bridge.
And then they had that interim captain come in, and he made her wear.
Yeah.
He's the one that made her actually put
Mhm.
on the uniform. And then eventually, was it season 7 when she started doing the program so she could I guess was it to
Oh,
get
yeah,
her,
she was,
it
like,
to get her
taking the
rank
tests.
up? Yeah.
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 I think she was like trying to become lieutenant commander or something like
Yeah,
that.
so she
Who knows?
could
Tell us.
would be yeah. So she would be
Keep
able to
saying
take
that, right?
command.
It's been so long
You know.
since I've watched Next Generation. That was my introduction to Star Trek, was Next Generation.
Mhm.
2006.
I
Nice.
like it. After
Yeah.
the first
I was-
3 seasons are okay, but I really got into it after the After the third season of Next
Enterprise?
Generation.
Oh, Next Generation.
Yeah.
Yeah. The joke is that the first couple seasons of any of the '90s or '80s Star Trek shows, you just kind of just get through them.
Yeah.
Like even Voyager was the same way. You just kind of had to get through that.
Yeah. It's hard for me to get through the very first episode of DS9. It's just, it's painful.
It is dull and
so painful.
and slow.
Makes it want you to
Give it all you got.
Give it all you got.
what the those steps are. Well,
It's kind of creepy. But in like a good way. In a good way.
Okay, so we had intermission, so welcome back, everybody.
welcome back. Welcome back, Mr. Kate. What? Anybody know?
I know. Mr. Carter! Mr. Carter!
I have
Do y'all know?
No.
Wow.
Okay, I'm not alone.
I don't know. I thought maybe
John
that it was like.
Travolta.
I watched it on Nick at Night. Obviously,
Yeah.
wasn't alive when it
It's
come
still
out.
on
but-
MeTV.
Oh, really?
What is
What's
this?
that?
Well, is it Welcome Back, Mr.
Yeah,
Carter?
it's Welcome Back, Carter.
Yeah.
Never seen.
Never heard of it.
Welcome back. Okay.
We're the educated folk over here.
Whatever.
That's what we got. That's what we have.
That's what we go.
That's why we have the good gold.
Yes,
You know.
right.
Apparently.
We're pop culture educated.
That's right. They read books. Ugh.
Sure did. I read War and Peace.
So have I. I mean, it was any good.
I know, it was so boring. It's like I chose it for a school project just to like say that I did it, and halfway through I was like, why did I do it? I was at the library reading Cliff Notes.
I just powerhoused it through it and probably forgot most of it after I finished it.
Yeah, because there's like
it's an
500
encyclopedia.
characters, and every character's name is this long.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Esquire.
Okay, so back to Discovery.
That was for you, Lydia. She'll know what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
I like to see
What is
one in the
pork?
background. Yeah,
that would be
usually.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Ferengi.
A Ferengi. Those butt heads.
I don't know.
They have
Yeah,
a
he was
special-
a weird looking one.
I love me some Ferengi.
I love Quark. He's-
Yeah,
Him and Robert and
that was a great character combination right there.
Nog.
But you know, we didn't
Those are
really
about
see
the
them.
only
They were
ones I can
supposed to be
tolerate.
like the evil people in Enterprise or Next Generation.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if I'd really want
Well, they
see a lot of
portrayed
them.
them as like these little hunched over people that hissed and did all this, but they
Yeah.
made them a little bit different in
to.
Deep
Yeah, they
Space Nine,
definitely. They
which I appreciated.
mm-hmm. Capitalists.
And they like their women naked.
I mean, who
Who
doesn't?
doesn't? Yeah. I mean,
Well, you know, there you go.
I like speaking of Ferengi, the one where the woman was pretending to be a male Ferengi in
Oh
DS9.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
that was a good episode.
And
you know.
she confided in Dax, and like Dax was the only one that knew she was a woman.
Now that would be cool to see a trill.
Oh yeah.
That's what Dax was, right? It was a trill.
Yeah, Trill
Yeah.
worked. I mean, from what I remember reading, I mean, we don't see them until the Next Generation, but they've been around with the Federation for a long time. They just weren't like in the Federation, I think, for a long time because they were still. They're very up until that point. I think I remember reading like a book or something like that, Star Trek book, where they talked about how the Trill were kind of xenophobic when they first started going out into space, and
Oh, okay.
you know they didn't really hang out with a lot of races because they were worried about the
symbiotes
symbiotes.
getting.
You know, if somebody else saw the symbiotes, they might try to use that for some reason, purpose. So they were, very secretive about that. But
That makes sense. So
Yeah.
the Deep Space Nine was the one who first addressed that whole species.
like really deeply.
Yeah.
There was that episode on Next Generation where they talked about the symbiotic species, but they really dib into the
Right.
lore of it. But yeah, Deep Space Nine. Deep Space Nine's the best.
It
In
is.
all the world.
All of it.
I do like Captain Janeway though, but as far as a show as a whole, character development and all that,
Had the best
DS9.
villain in entire Star Trek.
Yeah.
Golden cut.
Yes.
Golden cut. Golden cut. That's what my husband does with Chachi when I was watching it. He would take Chachi and like do his paws and be like, Golden cut.
That's cute.
And I can't stand Kai Wynn though.
No, she should burn. Somebody should set her on fire.
I don't.
Give me Kaiopaka.
Oh my god, yeah. And
Go back to that planet. Find a way to bring her back.
I always wondered what happened. You know.
There was
I think
a couple books about it. but
She
I
only
I
showed
never read
up
them, but
like when they were in the tunnel, in the passageway.
Huh?
you know, when they would go through the passageway and somebody would have an experience where all the people, the people inside the wormhole would present themselves as people they knew.
Yeah.
Kyle Paka showed up in a few
Yeah,
of
she
those.
did.
That's all
With,
that.
Yeah.
with the
That's really,
emissary.
you know. It makes me wonder if they filmed that like in the beginning of the series, or they brought the actress back.
Probably brought her back. Yeah.
She's a great actress.
Reoccurring guest star.
Mm-hmm. Get that money.
I kind of wish that Majel was around.
I have a love-hate relationship with Loxana Troy. I couldn't stand her on the first part that I saw her on Next Generation. Could not stand her. I mean, just despised to death. But then it grew on. She grew a little bit more, especially when she had that episode where she was with that guy who like killed her all cells at 60.
Yeah.
And you really saw her depth of character there. How she's like, but I love him. Why would you go this way? Why, you know, this is I get everything I want all the time. Why are you depriving me of this? So I'm going to tell you my morals over yours, and you know, my morals are more important than yours because your morals are way vastly different from mine, and that's bad. And then she learned, you know, fundamentals of the Federation there, where you know, she evolved to realize that it's not my place to tell someone else what they should do with their existence, and how I shouldn't judge another society just because it's so different from mine. And a lot of people could use to learn that.
Yeah, it's a life lesson for everybody.
Watch that episode.
I really loved the episode of Next Generation that really made me like her was when she was kind of having that PTSD. Those people came in and they only ever communicated telepathically, and she was teaching them how to communicate vocally. Yeah. And Deanna ended up having to go into her mind with her, and Deanna had a sister before, and
I forgot about that episode.
she ended up drowning, and she
She saw that.
yeah, and seeing Loxana like that, I was like,
Oh man, to watch, yeah. I mean, I've never known anybody personally, but I've seen a lot of stuff where, like, you know, a parent will lose a child and how terrible that is. I mean, that would make anybody go crazy.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I get her craziness kind of now. I mean,
Yeah.
she probably just amplified her own personality, but of the fourth house kind of stuff, you know.
Oh, but her and Odo, I loved when they brought her in for that. That was
He needed that. He really did.
He did.
As a character.
And he really didn't like trust her until she took off her wig and showed him her real hair. I love that. Like that was just like raw to watch.
I remember my grandma. My grandma was the same way. I only ever knew her with this big, boof, basically fro of brown curly hair. And when she was nearing the end, she took off her wig, and I was like, I was like 10 or something like that. I was like,
Oh my god.
I didn't know what wigs were pretty much at that point.
Right.
So that blew my
Grandma
mind.
just took her hair off.
What?
Oh, what just happened?
Yeah, that's what reminded me of that, sorry.
Yeah, no, I've had similar.
But it's a vulnerable moment, you
I
know.
had a similar experience with my grandmother when she answered the door one time when I was like 8, and she didn't have her teeth in.
Oh, my grandma did that too.
I didn't know that she wore false teeth. I thought, you know, Granny just has teeth. Why do you look so different? Exactly. She was like, sweetie, I don't have my teeth in. What?
Yeah, my grandma would put hers in a see-through jar, and you could just see it. You'd brush your teeth at night, and there are her teeth. You're just like,
My grandparents keep theirs in a cup. Like that closes.
Solo
That's
cup?
not
ugh.
a denture cup.
Oh, there's an actual thing called a denture cup?
Yes,
Yeah,
there
it's
is.
shaped like a little half circle thing. that
Oh,
pops
okay, kind of
open.
like not
My dad
braces,
has
but
a retainer.
retainer.
Yeah.
I've seen that
Yeah.
before, yeah. I didn't have any retainer. I got the big old canines. I don't care about that. I don't need any braces.
It's good for a vampire to look great.
Bleh.
You should have worn the cape.
Should have worn the cape. I still got the cape.
Or the cape next time.
Next time. It would have clashed.
Yeah,
Well, that
yeah.
is true. It would have
If I
clashed.
was sitting on that side, it'd be okay.
Wonder if we'll see Brent Spiner at all.
Now, he'll be on Orville, I'm sure.
Oh God, I hope so.
Yeah,
That would
right.
be awesome.
Go on Orville if you can. If you Brent Spiner is lucky enough to have watched this, go on Orville. Second season's happening. You know.
Right?
Get your name out there.
Yeah, I really
Love
hope
you.
they start pulling in a lot of people because we've
Yeah.
already seen it a couple of times now.
Oh yeah, she's definitely poshy
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
She's posh spice.
Posh
definitely.
Spice. I was about to
He's
say
more like sporty, you know.
Spice.
And
And then once he's been changed, who is he now?
oh, he's angry.
Angry.
Is there angry? Is that one?
Angry Spice.
Wait. Scary. There we go.
Scary Spice.
Scary Spice.
Mel B.
Mel
Oh my
B.
God.
Okay. Actually, I just learned that there was a what was the blonde one?
Baby Spice?
Baby. I just learned that there was a Baby Spice the other day.
Oh, yeah.
I
And a
know,
Ginger
I-
Spice.
I know Ginger Spice. I knew Sporty. I knew Posh. I knew Sporty. I knew Scary. But I never. I was like, he kept. DJ was the other day. Was like, you know, there's another one. What's the other one called? And I'm like, Blonde Spice.
You know, Baby Spice, she came out with an album recently. A
Has
solo
she?
album, yeah.
How is it?
I don't know, I've not heard it. I just saw her on a talk show.
That's helpful.
On an unrelated note, I want to see the Spice Girls movie redone with them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of
I would.
was getting that out there.
That's not a thing, or you're wanting it, or it is
Yeah,
a
I'm
thing.
wanting it.
Okay,
I know.
I didn't know if it was in the works or not.
No,
They're doing
but that'd be
something
cool if it
coming next
was.
year.
Are they really?
I know they're getting together for a reunion or something.
I kind of
Maybe.
I was. a
You
fan
heard
of
that
Spice
first
Girls.
here, America.
I didn't listen to
Because
it,
I
so
read it on the
I need to go
internet.
check them out, I guess.
So
If you want to be my lover, you need
tell
to.
me what you
Yeah.
want. What you really want. I'll tell you what I want.
I know
what
that song,
really want.
okay.
Yeah.
Tell us what you want.
What I really, really want.
If you want to be my lover, you gotta get with my friends.
This is the Friends.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta get into
Friends
Star
song.
Trek. Sorry.
Do you
course.
think that you will go back and watch some of the older ones?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Do you think you're going to stick with Enterprise
I
or go
don't.
stick
I was
with
gonna say,
No,
maybe don't
I'm
start
not
with
feeling.
Enterprise.
I'm not feeling Enterprise
Okay.
right now, but
I can understand that.
No, I think she needs to watch DS9 because I think the
Oh,
rest
yeah,
of us
yeah.
are in agreement that DS9 is
The
probably
best.
the-
100% best character development in all of Star Trek.
It really
I'll
is,
start with
and
that.
it's just
And Cisco is
He's so
oh,
badass.
he can play Psycho really well.
But he can play like, you know, the opposite of that. You know,
Right.
just very like, you know,
He
wondrous.
can flip
and-
it.
charismatic.
Oh, yes,
and
there's a good
just-
word. Charismatic.
Yeah,
he can put
He's-
his thing down, flip it, and reverse it.
probably.
He's the Cary Grant of Starfleet.
I liked when they started when it transitioned over and he was shaving his head. That was when you
Oh,
like
that was cool.
Cisco meant business then.
And when he
yeah.
shaved his head, good little goatee.
Yeah.
That was serious Cisco.
Yeah, and then when they gave him the Defiant.
He's like,
I don't know who this
It's
is
over
because
now.
every time you say Cisco, I'm imagining thong songs. I don't know. I don't know who this character is.
oh,
But I'm hoping he has bright blonde hair.
Let me show you. Look,
When
I'm
I
going to pull
first
up a
started
picture of
watching
Captain
DS9,
Cisco.
that's what I thought of. With
He doesn't.
Dum, dum, dum.
Captain Cisco doesn't have silver hair.
No.
Just so you know. I mean, I know it's the future and all.
This is Captain Cisco.
Okay.
Avery Brooks. He was in what American History X.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
This is what he looked like in the beginning. He was very clean shaven, full head of hair, and then as the seasons progressed, he went to that look.
He got
I like
more,
that look better.
He got more
Yeah.
badass.
Yeah, that was his
Yes,
badass
Badass.
The
Bad
emissary is here.
look.
Brilliant
What's wrong
jazz
with
musician too.
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
yeah.
cool. I think
I've watched
that's
a lot of the Trek documentaries, and he's
He's a weird man.
playing the piano while they're
Yeah.
interviewing him. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, he is.
Just get into it. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, he was. I mean, everything I've ever seen, like interviews and stuff, is just really good.
You're my favorite. You'll always be my favorite.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
You're my
Good
favorite.
captain. You know, we saw, you know, we were introduced to him before he was made captain. He was just a commander,
Yeah,
a lowly
right.
commander.
Who punched Q?
Right.
the episode.
He did not take the Patrick Stewart approach to Q.
He's like, I am not Jean-Luc Picard. And then
I am not Picard.
the other day, I watched the episode where he is making the Cardassians had Kira. And was trying to convince her she used to be a Cardassian.
Oh,
as
yeah.
she
Oh,
was a
yeah,
sleeper
yeah.
agent in Bajor.
Mm-hmm.
And so they took the Defiant to go get her. And he made Garrett come with it. And Garrett's like, I believe you're trying to extort me. Oh, yes, I am trying to
course.
extort you.
That was a brilliant relationship that started.
Brutally.
Okay. Okay, I think we talked about this at my party, but favorite character in all series. Come on.
And all of what?
All of Star Trek.
All
Favorite
of Star
character.
Trek.
Kiss. He's like,
Jesus, Kiss.
They actually had me believe that her favorite character was Kes.
Oh,
Like,
God.
I haven't been drinking a lot at this point, so I'll believe anything. And so I'm like, oh, you're really into Kes? I loved her more than I liked 7 of 9. I did. I really enjoyed her more. Because she had that doughy-eyed kind of feel to her in the beginning where everything was like, you know, new and exciting, and she'd never seen anything like this. This is the first time I've ever had like exist that where I wasn't fighting to exist. So you know that was a really cool story arc. Then she got all into her mind powers, and then it got really bad.
Yeah, it got weird.
She took it
fast.
too far.
Well, that got
Oh,
awkward.
way too far.
She took it too far. God, and even the name of her race, Theocampa, whatever they are, I don't know.
They just
I don't
like
know
going
what
camping,
it
man.
is.
I'm sorry, I just have to throw it in there because it's so funny. Your reaction cracks me up.
And I don't know. And I think, honestly, I think it's more the actress than it was the character.
The character?
I really think that. Damn Kiss.
Kes got weird.
The creepiest character, though, ever to me was Tuvix.
Oh, the melt.
I never. I was so divided on Tuvix. I really I hated Neelix.
Thank you. God, I hate Neelix.
He's terrible.
I love it.
But I really liked Tuvok.
Yes,
Tuvok
I do.
was oh my god, I really wanted Tuvok, so I really wanted Tuvok back, and I really wanted to get rid of Neelix, but I couldn't tell whether or not I liked Tuvix. He was super helpful. He was murdered. But you know, I don't know. It was just,
He reminded me of a weird James Brown or something. Just his
Conversation.
attitude.
This conversation has evolved to who your favorite character is to who do you hate the most.
Okay, she brought that up.
I did.
So I'm gonna move to her.
Yeah,
Who's your
move
favorite
on.
Star Trek character of all time?
Who, me?
Yes.
I don't know.
Right
I don't
now,
know.
at this point, it can be anybody you want.
I've always liked Spock.
I mean, he's
Spock.
pretty.
I've
Yeah.
always liked Spock.
Okay, Spock. That's cool. What you've always liked Spock because?
I just liked when I first started watching the movies and I didn't know that much about it, that he wasn't emotional and everything was about logic. And then I think it was the second movie, The Search for Spock, and he comes back and he, you know, does the big bravery thing, and the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, and it was just, I don't know, it was emotional for me, and I just really liked his character.
Okay, cool.
And these are original movies.
The original ones, yeah.
Let me interject that one of my very favorite emotional moments was Geordi in the movie Insurrection. When he saw, I can't remember if it was the sunrise or the sunset for the very first time.
God, that touched my heart so much.
Oh my God, I chills. I mean,
Like, yes, the goosebumps were everywhere when I first saw that, and he's just like, you know, and you could like, he was like tearing up, you know, because it was so beautiful.
He couldn't see before?
No, he was blind,
Aw.
and he had this visor. He was a visor guy.
He's
And,
the guy from Reading Rainbow.
Oh,
LeVar.
him.
LeVar Burton. And when he looked at it, and you see that like doughy eye in his face get a little, you know, soul patch, and you know, it was so beautiful. I
It
totally
really
agree with
was.
that.
It's like you would say that was one of your favorite scenes.
Easily
Yeah.
one of the
Star Trek.
favorites.
yeah, in Insurrection, I really liked that
I don't know if I've
that
seen
Next
that.
Generation movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was the third Next Generation movie, because it was
Yeah, Insurrection.
Insurrection. What did I say?
I don't know what you said.
Indirection.
No,
I
she
thought
said
you
it
said it
right.
right. You said it
Yeah.
right.
She said it right.
But it was the one that Kirk was in. I can't remember the name of that one.
That's Generations,
Generations, and then First Contact,
and then
and then Insurrection, and then Nemesis.
Yeah, I think it's Insurrection and Nemesis. I haven't seen.
Yeah.
yeah.
I need to get on that.
And your favorite character? I think I know who it is. But
My favorite character?
Yes.
Oh, Kira.
Kira.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
that's
it's
a cool character.
changed.
It's
It
fluid.
varies. Yeah.
It varies.
It
Right
was
now
it was Data for a long time.
Yeah, well, yeah, in Next Generation, he is my favorite. But if I had to say all-time Star Trek, only because I related to her story the most.
Kira.
Yeah. Like the whole the struggle between, you know, being raised religious and what do I feel about that now and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like she did have that great, she was raised, just like in chaos and then
And
finally
the
had
whole
order.
occupation, yeah. So like
Mhm.
because of the way I was brought up, it just kind of paralleled that.
Right on, right on. That's a good one. Kira's a great character.
Yeah, that's why I'm rewatching DS9 right now.
She's the heart.
But she doesn't make a pretty Cardassian. I don't like her as a Cardassian.
Does anybody really make a pretty Cardassian?
Spoonheads.
I mean, his Golda Fox's daughter. That was a very beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was very beautiful.
But she was half Bajoran.
That's true. She was half Bajoran. She's still pretty.
Yeah.
But speaking of her, my favorite character is who she fell in love with, Garrick.
Oh.
I love Garrick absolutely to death. He had the best dialogue of the entire show.
Yep.
He did some of the dirtiest deeds in the entire show. And every
With a
time,
smile on his face.
he was so snarky. Every time, like even when he was getting beat up by Klingons at one time, he was just like, oh, just joking with them basically. Just he was like Deadpool basically. And oh man, he was just so funny. That was my favorite. But
And it was emotional when he went to Elam, and then we found
his
out
dad, yeah.
Elam ended up being
his
his
name
dad.
is Elam.
Oh yeah, he was Elam. Well, who
I
was
can't remember his
dad?
dad's name. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But they went and visited that man. That's when he was sick, and Bashir went to him and met.
That's
who
when they were
we
in the
thought
prison.
was Elam. No. He went to his house.
They got
Remember
him. They went.
No, Garrick had that device in his head that
Oh,
He-
okay. I remember.
he turned it on and
okay.
didn't ever turn it off again, and it
Yeah.
it was starting to mess up, and
You got all that
Bashir.
pleasure device, yeah.
Yeah, so Bashir was trying to find a replacement part for it, and he went and talked to you remember Garrick was telling him all those stories about Elam, and I betrayed him, and that's who he went to talk to, and he's the one who told Bashir that Garrick was Elam.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we didn't find out he was his dad until they were in prison.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
That's why I was a little confused there. Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to that part again in DS9.
Alright.
It's okay. Everything Derek does is beautiful. And then like
It's just a
me
simple
and my friend
dialogue.
Jackie have this joke where we think that he and Bashir should do it. It should happen.
It needs to. There's so much tension.
There's so much sexual tension.
Let's
going
talk
on.
about the sexual tension.
This is for later. This is for after hip track.
Skinematic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me and Jackie, we kept going on talking about. We make these memes back and forth, and we find some. Obviously, where it just has them talking, and they're just like really close, looking at each other with those like.
Soulful
Those
looks.
longing eyes.
That's
Yes.
what I've recently found out on Instagram mostly is there are a lot of people out there that put from the original series Spock and Kirk together.
Yeah, it's obvious.
Oh man, it's hilarious the screen caps and stuff that people do.
Watch the Closer video. There's a video that's set to the music from Nine Inch Nails Closer. It has them just. It is dirty.
I have not seen that. Oh my
It's
god.
dirty. You need to watch that.
Adding to the playlist.
Everybody, go check it out. It's great.
Good. We could talk about Trekmas. Trekmas
Trekmas.
is coming up soon.
What is Trekmas?
Christmas for Trekkies.
Oh.
Oh, we'll get lots of toys. I'm into presents. Presents. Oh, I'm in a group online too, but we're doing a Star Trek Secret Santa, and there's a bunch of people all over the world, and we do a little website like that we get onto, so that'll be a lot of fun. So speaking of
That's
Trekmas,
really
Be
cool.
very cool.
that's a really cool thing to get into.
Oh yeah.
Interesting. We should do a version of Trekmas for Instagram. And I don't know if y'all have seen the video going around online about the woman who she dresses up as a Klingon and does parodies.
Yes, that is one of them. That is one of the videos I'm talking about.
I
She is
love
the
her.
Pop Klingon warrior.
Yes.
Oh
love
my
her.
God, I love that.
I'll have to check it out. And
She is so great.
man, her makeup is awesome.
She is. I mean, it's
So
fun.
funny.
There's in Jacksonville, Florida. Not Jacksonville. It's farther down the coast. Every year there's the convention. That's just the Klingon convention, and it's the Klingon feast as they call it.
Oh.
And I've always wanted to like drive down and go to that. It's nowhere near like a cheap bus system, so you have to actually drive there.
Right.
And it's not like a big convention or anything. Like it's a small con, maybe a couple hundred people. But they all tons of Klingons. They have a big Klingon bar and a big Klingon feast, and it's all about some Klingons.
Gosh.
Everybody's dressed up as a Klingon.
Everybody gets dressed up.
Oh my
If you're not
God,
dressed up as a
I would love to
Klingon,
do
they have
that.
people there that you can pay to like put stuff on you too. It's a lot of fun.
That is so
Wow.
cool. I would love
And they just
to
had a
do
big
that.
feast, and they did a video that you can look on where they're just like playing the songs. I think she was singing actually, but it's just going through the bar there at some hotel that lets them keep doing it.
Yeah, that's
That's
awesome.
pretty cool.